every weekend's a tough game versus a tough conference opponent, and to go there at night and get a win on the road is huge. We got off to a kind of a crazy start in that first quarter. Was able to start off with a pick six by Malik Wiggins, and Merrimack answered with a long drive of their own to tie it up, and then a big kick return that kind of set up our next score, and really took us a quarter defensively to kind of settle in. And obviously we did a really good job holding them the next really 2.5, 3 quarters, holding them off the scoreboard. I really thought the difference in the game was, we were able to set up 2 touchdown drives by our offense that started inside our opponent's 10-yard line. And anytime you can give them that type of short field and they're able to punch it in is huge. And obviously for us to score on defense. So you're saying 21 points right there. I think it is a really good indication of us playing some more complementary football. And then to keep them off the scoreboard in the second half and be able to control the clock and run the ball and really grind it out at the end and to finish in victory formation is, as a football coach, that's how you want to end every week. So it was a really good team victory across the board, a good conference win. Yeah, Malik's done a great job in the offseason. He's a guy as a freshman that saw a little playing time early on in some sub packages and a little bit more as the season went on last year. And he did a great job in spring practice, buying into the technique. And he's a physical player. He's not the biggest guy on the field, but he's not afraid to mix it up. Whether it's the run game or the pass game, he's got good ball skills. He's a smart football player, and he uses that along with his athleticism. I think, for him to be able to put himself in position now in his first time as a full-time starter and be one of the league leaguers in PBUs, obviously people are going to test him, and I think he's done a good job of showing, maybe not to test him so often because he can make people pay for it and he'll make plays on the football. So it was really good at him as a sophomore to really step into that role. And for the position that we put him at, he's on the island quite a bit in our defense. It allows us to kind of commit some bodies elsewhere. So for him, even on when the stat line doesn't show it, he's playing a big role in the success of our defense because of he's in charge of taking one receiver completely out of the game plan. Yeah, Malachi is just a great example of what we've seen already in the last couple weeks is just some guys that have really stepped up, and our expectation, what we preach to the team is, if somebody goes down, if somebody has to fill in, if that next man up philosophy, for us, we don't expect to miss a beat, because that guy we know is prepared to step in and execute. And, when you talk about the next man up, it's really got to be, from a team's perspective. It can't just be the focus on that one person. So I think, for him to be able to come in, step in, score a touchdown, control the clock for us, with the run game. He also had a couple really big catches, some key third down conversions. Also, I think a big credit to that, and if you ask him, he'll tell you the offensive line did a great job in the second half of that game, open up some holes for him. We left some yards out there. He made a couple guys miss, and there's definitely some runs that are on him. And there's a couple, I think, if we look back, we're saying if we can keep our footing here, it's a big play, and we're able to break one. But he did a tremendous job. He was also returning kicks for us too. We kind of joked with him after the game, how sore are you, but he was good, and he's ready to continue that role, moving forward. So I think it's, for us, we just feel comfortable that, we've got a good stable of running backs, and if anything happens to any of them, we're not going to skip a beat offensively. For us, from a practice standpoint, we were able to get out there and not focus on anybody else but ourselves. We didn't worry so much about working with scouts and game planning yet. It was more about, let's getting better at who we are and what we do and kind of furthering our identity, in all 3 phases of the game. So we're able to slow things down, get some really quality reps. We did do some live work earlier in the week. It was a good opportunity for us to get some of the younger guys that don't get a ton of reps with our ones or our twos offensively or defensively to get them some reps. And I think, what we'll see from that, the effects of this week will be played out in the last 5 weeks with some new faces, some guys that have really come along and developed over the first half of the season in camp that are going to start to play a bigger role for us in our offense or in our defense or in special teams. So I think that was huge. And obviously from a health standpoint, we were able to push it in practice, but we were able to get some guys healthy, get their legs back underneath them, and really get going for the stretch run of the season. It was a unique opportunity for us. In the years past, we haven't had a bye week. It's been an 11-game and 11-week, grind. So to be able to one, slow things down, but also to create an opportunity where, we can do something outside of the football environment, but still do something that strengthens our bond to the community, whether it's in Brockton or here on campus or in Easton. I thought that was a really unique opportunity, and our guys really took to it. I was really proud of the way our guys approached that situation. It was a chance for us to get involved in some after-school programs, whether it's at Trinity Catholic Academy. Some of the guys headed over to the Boys and Girls Club of Brockton, and were able to hang out with those kids in the after-school program and play some basketball with them. And we participated in some weeding and some picking of vegetables over at the farm at Stonehill, which obviously provides those to needy families. So it was a really unique opportunity for us. We usually don't have that kind of time built in to be able to do that, and I think we saw that as a positive experience that we wanted our guys to go through, and our guys had a blast doing it. I wish we had more time to do it, but obviously being able to do that in the season, I think it's definitely something we'll continue to do in bye weeks moving forward, but even into our off season, already having those relationships. Some exciting ball games. We've had some exciting ones that have gone in our favor, like last year, and we've had some exciting ones that haven't. And for us, we know they're a talented football team. It's going to be a great atmosphere down there. It's homecoming weekend for them, on the blue turf. So all those things considered, we're expecting a close, hard-fought game, and we know that to keep it close, we're gonna have to play well, and we're gonna have to make those big plays and those key moments down the stretch to come out on the positive end of things. I think when you look at the matchup, it's kind of been back and forth, and I think our guys know that this is going to be a hard game. This is going to be a tough game, and they have to play their best football, to win in this environment against that football team. So we're excited for the opportunity. I love playing down there. I think Coach Pinson's has done a great job since he's taken over, and they're a good football team, and we're looking forward to going down there and playing on the road again. It seems like we haven't been at home very often, but we're kind of getting used to that travel element, which is good for our football team. So we're excited for the opportunity. Take a peek at the stats earlier in the week, and it's kind of funny to see how very similar their numbers both are. And I think the tail of the tape is you're dealing with two experienced quarterbacks that have been in a system for a long time. They're very efficient with the football. I mean, they're 1-2 or 2-3 in terms of passing efficiency in our league. They don't turn the ball over very often. And I think when you look at both of these guys, they're experienced in their offense, and they make plays in crunch time. And I think that's a credit to obviously their program and being able to build around him and build success around him, and as we've tried to do the same with Matt. So I think whenever you're playing a team with a senior quarterback, as we are this week and as they are this week, you're expecting them to not make many mistakes, and you have to take advantage of any ones that they do make. So hopefully we can create some of our own defensively. They're a little bit multiple in terms of their front. They'll do some 3-down stuff, some 4-down fronts. Not afraid to bring some pressure. They've got some really good athletes. They're young in some areas in their defense, but they're athletic. They can run with people. They take advantage of mistakes. They can try to get. They're going to try to get after the quarterback, but they're very sound. And as with most of the teams in our league, the level of play, the level of players in our league has increased, but also just the multiplicity in terms of defensive packages and offensive packages. Kids are coached up and they're good football players, and you're in for a tough matchup every single week. So, for us, we've got to find ways to continuously run the football and not stall out drives, and we got to continue to do what we've done on third down all year, and that's move the chains. We've done a great job, Matt has, on third down, and Coach Moody of kind of scheming up what's going to work for us in those situations. So we got to continue to do that. Defensively, we've got to find ways to create some turnovers and limit the big play. They're a team that doesn't turn the ball over very often. Last year we were able to create a couple against them, and that really was the difference. Offensively, we've got to be able to run the football against this front, and I think that opens up a lot of different doors for us offensively. And then, I think obviously special teams wise, we've got to play in plus territory, and we've got to continuously have them start on their own side of the field.